Kosbe, lecturer from Praveen Patil Polytechnic Bhayandar. My topic is Measurement of Electric Power, Part 9. Learning Outcomes. In this video, you will learn about measurement of reactive power by 1 wattmeter method, maximum demand indicator, and phase sequence indicator. So first is measurement of reactive power by 1 wattmeter method. The torque produced in a wattmeter is due to the product of current passing through the current coil, voltage across the voltage coil, and cosine of the angle between the voltage and current. Hence, wattmeter readings indicate the active power, since active power is the cosine component of volt ampere. However, this principle shall be used to measure reactive power only by applying a small trick on the connection. So reactive power formula is Q is equal to 3 Vp Ip sin A, or Q is equal to root 3 V1 I1 sin A, where Vp is phase voltage, VL to L is line to line voltage, Ip is phase current, IL is line current, and A is power factor angle. We presume the load to be lagging. Now, for delta connected system, VL to L, that is V line to line voltage is equal to phase voltage, and IL is equal to root 3 phase current. So IL is equal to root 3 phase current. For star connected system, V line to line is equal to root 3 phase voltage, and IL is equal to Ip, that is line current is equal to phase current. Now let us have a look on the circuit diagram and system phasor diagram. So this is the diagram for 1 wattmeter method for calculating the reactive power. In this, current coil of wattmeter is connected in one phase, that is A, and the pressure coil or voltage coil is connected in other two phases, that is in phase B and C, pressure coil is connected and current coil is connected in phase A. So from the above image, we can see that the current coil is connected in line A, so it will measure current IA. The voltage coil is connected between line B and C, so it will measure voltage VBC. However, case of the suffixes are 11, that is VBC and VBC signifies same vector, so you can write it as VBC. And also the meter deflection will be affected by cosine of angle between vector VBC and IA. To identify the angle, we have to see the vector diagram. Let's have a look below. So this is the phasor diagram. From this phasor diagram, you can calculate the angle between VBC and IA. So in this, VA, VB and VC are the phase voltages which are 120 degree phase shift from each other, and IA is the current flowing through the phase A, which is lags the VA by an angle A, and you have to calculate the value of IA and VBC. So in this phasor diagram, value of angle between IA and VBC is 90 minus A, because angle between VA and IA is A and the angle between VA and VBC is 90 degree. So the angle between IA and VBC becomes 90 minus A. So from the phasor diagram, you can see that phasor VBC is lagging VA by 90 degree and IA is lagging VA by angle A. So angular difference between VBC and IA is 90 minus A. However, please note that this condition will vary according to the circuit connection. If the current coil is connected to line B and voltage coil is connected across line A and C, the representation shall be different. So careful with the circuit. So this is the angle for this connection only. Now as per our circuit, the measured power is VBC into IA into cos of 90 minus A is equal to VBC into IA into sin A. So you can write at it cos of 90 minus A, you can write it as sin A. Now note that VBC is line to line voltage and IA is also line current. So as per the equation number 2, multiplying the wattmeter reading by root 3, we will get the desired reactive power. Next is Merz price maximum demand indicator. The maximum demand indicator measures the maximum amount of power required by the consumer at the particular interval of time. The indicator is designed in such a way that they measure the base and peak load but unable to measure the sudden short circuit or starting high current of the motor. It is designed for recording the power over particular periods. The maximum demand indicators are classified into 4 types. First is recording demand indicator, second average demand indicator, third thermal type maximum demand indicator, fourth digital maximum demand indicator. Next, construction of maximum demand indicator. The maximum demand indicator has 5 main parts. First is dial connected to the moving system, second pointer, third reset device, fourth fraction device, and fifth indicating pin. So construction, the average demand indicator is inbuilt into the energy meter. The energy meter and average demand indicator together measures the total power consumed and the maximum value of specific power at particular interval of time. The average demand indicator consists the complex speed dial mechanism. The pin drive moves the dial forward for small duration, say for half an hour. The total power consumed at that interval is shown on the dial. The instrument consists the cam, which is controlled by the timing gears. So this is the diagram of maximum demand indicator. In this you can see the spring for controlling purpose. There is a pin, pointer and bell crank mechanism and cam. And in this, that is 0, 1, 2, 3 is the registering mechanism. The cam brings back the pointer at 0 positions. The pointer records the total power consumed by the load at that particular interval of time. For the next half an hour, the pin again moves forward, but the pointer will move forward only when the total power consumed by the load is more than the previous periods. The formula calculates the average maximum demand, that is average maximum demand in kilowatt is equal to maximum energy recorded over a time in interval kWh kilowatt hour upon time intervals in hours. So maximum demand indicator records the power in particular interval of time. Next is advantages of average demand indicator. The average demand indicator has high accuracy. The instrument has uniform measuring scale. Disadvantages of maximum demand indicator. The cost of the instrument is very high. Their construction is very complicated. Nowadays the cam is replaced by the electromagnetic relay and clutch that replaces the bell crank releasing device. Next is phase sequence indicator. The phase sequence indicator is the indicator that determines the phase sequence of the three-phase supply system. When we give conventional three-phase supply, that is RYB, to the induction motor, we see that the direction of the rotation of the motor is in clockwise direction. So if the motor phase sequence is RYB, then the direction of rotation is in clockwise direction. Next is need of phase sequence indicator. In case of three-phase supply, a three-phase equipment is to be connected to it. For example, if three-phase induction motor is to be connected to a three-phase supply, The phase sequence should be known and supply RYB terminals should be properly connected to motor RYB connections. If any two supply terminals are reversed, the motor rotates in reverse direction. This should not happen, hence phase sequence should be known. Second, in case of parallel operation of devices, example 3-phase transformer, 3-phase alternators, the phase sequence should be known. If these are not connected with correct phase sequence with respect to each other, a short circuit can occur. The phase sequence should be determined correctly. So the first reason is, if the phase sequence is not correct, the motor may run in anti-clockwise direction. And second reason for using this phase sequence indicator is, for parallel operation we have to know the correct phase sequence. If the phase sequence is not correct, then short circuit may happen. So first type is rotating type phase sequence indicators. It works on the principle of induction motors. In this, coils are connected in star form and the supply is given from 3 terminal marked as RYB as shown in figure. When supply is given to the coils, produces the rotating magnetic field, and this rotating magnetic field produces ED EMF in the movable aluminum disc as shown in the diagram. So this is the diagram of phase sequence indicator. In this you can see RYB are the 3 terminals and there is a disc and arrow is marked on this. This ED EMF produces ED current on the aluminum disc. ED current interact with the rotating magnetic field. Due to this, a torque is produced which causes the light aluminum disc to move. If the disc moves in clockwise direction, then chosen sequence is RYB, and if the direction of rotation is in anti-clockwise, the sequence is reversed. So in this, the main part of this phase sequence indicator is disc. If the disc is rotating in clockwise direction, then your phase sequence is correct, and if the disc is rotating in anti-clockwise direction, then your phase sequence is incorrect. So this is the actual image of this phase sequence indicator. In this you can see there is a arrow is marked on this. If your connection, that is your phase sequence is correct, then the disc rotates as the direction of this arrow, and if this phase sequence is incorrect, then it will rotate in anti-clockwise direction.